right, everybody. We tuning in for another amazing episode here on JMalcom TV. And y'all know myself, man. Y'all are in for a treat. So today we bring to you the founder and the owner of the Shut Up and Race series, one of the most popular streetcar events here in the Southeast by far. He always kept a bad ride, man, particularly the Mustangs. He bad man with the Mustangs, the Fox bodies. And most know him as Mandrell, but he's also known as Mr Fivespeed as well. So I'd like to welcome Mandrell Terrell to the show. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good. I appreciate coming on the show. I should have been on the show a long time ago. Just been my fault. You know, I just been busy. This, like I said, once again, I appreciate everything. Just being the fact that, you know, we've been buddy for a long time to come over here and just looking at how far we done both growed up, not just by me, inspiring a lot of people, you know. So like I said, I appreciate everything.
Man, I'm glad to have you on the show, man. I'm glad to have you on the show. So, you know, like I like to start from the beginning so everybody can paint your timeline, paint your picture and all of that. So, like what was your childhood like growing up?
I can't complain. Mine was pretty good. Pretty much like my mom pretty much single parent, but we got uncles that pretty much like dad and stuff like that. Granddad like dad. We didn't too much want for nothing, to be honest with you. I can't complain. Most of all my family ran their own business. A lot of people know the Terrell loggins, Johnson loggins. Most all my family is in logging business, including my brother. He started business before I did, you know, before I got on my own. He was younger than me, but he got up before I did.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you grew up around like entrepreneurs, pretty much like businessmen and stuff, business owners.
24/7.
So how did that affect you, like as a kid growing up? Like what was your mindset like? You know, at an early age of teen years and stuff. Like, did you kind of have a idea on what direction you wanted to go in life? The general direction.
To be honest with you, no. I knew one thing. I didn't want to be in logging. You know, after going out there working in them woods, that stuff is pretty rough. It's pretty rough now, to be honest with you. Because we had pulpwood trucks. I was out there with pulpwood trucks, and my Uncle Shirk, he had logging, and the rest of the trail logging, they had logging, you know, log trucks also. So I was in the pulpwood, so we had to flipping pulpwood on our own during the summertime. But main reason I didn't really want to do it because I feel like I didn't get paid for what I was doing. You know, it kind of hard work for family. Yeah. I didn't have no problem with them, but I feel like I was doing more than other people that worked out there, you know.
So what age were you when you kind of first got into that?
The logging? 8, 9, 10, something like that. Yeah, I used to ride in log trucks with my cousin David Johnson. He come from Uncle Shirk. I used to ride in a log truck with David, ride on the skidder with my granddaddy, Jerry Gresham. I started driving log trucks and didn't even have but learning license.
Really?
Pulpwood truck. Yeah. A lot of folk didn't know that.
So that was your first job, like getting into the logging.
Well, my first job was with you know, Cedric Adams. Yeah. His dad on the farm. Okay. He had chickens, cows. We worked in the chicken house.
Really?
You know, during the time. Yeah. So we go out there. First job. That's why now I can't hardly really. I eat chicken, but if I see that black vein in it, I won't even eat it. It's over. Because for one, you know, we used to go down and had to pick up dead chickens, you know.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pick them up. You want to pick the chicken up. You're like, don't. It's light. Whole leg come off. You know, chickens eat chicken.
I ain't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. Chicken eat anything. Yeah, chicken eat chicken.
I did not.
And we just get home, my mom would cook chicken.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat it.
So at an early age, you weren't messing with them.
I was traumatized on chicken. I'll be honest. I was traumatized on that chicken, man, to be honest with
you. Yeah. So like leading up into early childhood, because I know most of the time when we younger or going into teen high school years, that's when you get into stuff. And I'm always ask this question, like, so coming up, did trouble ever find you? And if it did, how did you get out of it?
I think everybody got in trouble, some form of fashion. I never been locked up. Never did anything really to get locked up besides running from the police.
Right.
You know, I ran from the police and But they come and got me. Let me say that.
They did.
The next day.
So what? You run on foot or you was in a car?
No, I was in the car.
In the car.
I met him. I met him, and I had a little yellow S10. Me, Roman Brown, Stacy, Alexander. A couple of had them, and I met the police coming by with Tom on work at SQ Appliance. He was coming up the hill, coming down the hill, so I kept on going. And they didn't. The next day, it was the next day they pretty much when they got me because that truck was convertible. So I'm going in. You know, by that time they had cameras in them in the car. So when they came out there, when I came home, the police was waiting on me, and then the camera in my ears always stick out. Yeah. So you can see me. You can see me on camera. My ears sticking way out here. I like, I couldn't deny that it was me.
Yeah.
It was me. It was me. So they took me in. And they never did lock me up. They was on the Sunday. So my mom did let them prove a point. So they took me in. And when they took me in, I got there, I got a ticket for speed, with something that started to make no sense. Speed, regular driving, failure to stop for a police officer, which is allude to me, those two same things.
Yeah.
Tinted windows and slick tires. You know, we a drag race. So
yeah, of course.
I had 6 tickets, and out of those 6 tickets was $618.
Out of 6 tickets?
Yeah. And my stepdaddy paid for it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I did no time. My mom said, they're going to impound truck. I got home, my truck sitting at home.
So they didn't get the truck or nothing?
They ain't do nothing to me.
So you just got
He paid the $618, that was it.
Slap on the wrist.
Slap on the wrist, that was it.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Man, so you in the truck. So when did the cars start? When did you get into the cars? Like at what age when you first start getting, hey, I'm into these hot rods. Like I like to go fast. When you found the need for speed?
My uncle, his name is, we call him Freddie. My uncle, to be honest with you, I had my first car probably about 13 years old.
What was it?
He bought me a Plymouth Champ. Was it a Plymouth Champ? It was a Plymouth, but it was an Omni. It's a Plymouth Omni.
Yeah.
He bought me that car, and then once I had that car there, he ended up getting it back and bought me a Plymouth Champ. It was a fast car. So you look at like a 1980 like Plymouth Champ car. It was a 4-speed car, and it had another gear beside it that had power and economy. So you put it in economy. Look it up for real. Look it up. You put it in economy, stick shift. Put it in economy, it looked like a data driver, smooth. Yeah. We put it in power. Yeah, I'm like taking the car now, put them in, what they call it, sport mode?
Sport mode, yeah.
Oh, it's stronger than that. You put it in power, I'm like go from a 273 to a 14 gear, a little small car.
Really?
And that car will holler all 4 gears.
Yeah.
So, you know, but like I said, my uncle, they always had cars from my uncle, Colin Cake, Jerry Gresham. He had a Mustang, you know, from years ago. So we just hooked on Ford. All the log truck with Ford. All the equipment truck with Ford. So we hooked on Ford.
From the beginning?
From the beginning.
So you just, Ford just in your veins.
Yeah, we're straightforward, man. Straightforward, no lie.
Yeah, so from the beginning, you've been in the Fords, and then so you get this Plymouth and stuff at what age?
I got that Plymouth, I think, at 13.
Yeah, you said 13. That's right, 13 years old. So at this time, when you got this car, did you already start street racing and drag racing and stuff? When did that come about? Like, when was your first street race? Yeah.
My first street race was probably, with them smaller cars. I probably say I was racing, what's his name? Chris Moore. Yeah. Chris had a Toyota Corolla. And we was in high school, but like I said, I was driving school in the 8th grade. I had no license. I was driving school early.
Already driving.
Yeah, I was already driving. You know, I was fortunate. But I was racing Chris. He had a Corolla. I think his car was automatic. I can't remember. I know mine was stick. But my car was faster. Yeah. My car was faster. It wasn't fast at first until a guy named Henry Blockham. He lived next door to us. He worked on it, and the car got points in it. So we put him in there. Yeah. Every time I shift a gear, get out of gear. Pow, pow. But that thing was ruined, though. It was flat out ruined. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that was about my first time. Besides racing go-karts and them little fat cat, them little, you know, we call them fat cats, the little small, like a little moped, like with a go-kart motor on.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We used to race all this stuff, then bicycle.
So you done raced everything?
Oh yeah, you can race it all. Foot hand, crawl on, buggers in the grocery store. We do all that. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody did all that too.
Man, so now that was your first street race. So when did you get your first drag race? Like your first experience in track trip? Like,
with that, I had a yellow Nissan in '93. No, it was '92. I was getting out of school in '92, And I had a yellow Nissan lowrider truck with LA white. It was a real clean truck. We just put in parades, car show, like me, Roman, Stacy. I'm trying to think that Scott Hubbard did, but now Scott had a nice truck too. But I took it to the track, and I ran Weezer uncle. He had a truck, which he's akin to me in a way. He had a Boss. He had a Ford pickup, had Boss 302 on the side of it. It was stick shift, mine was stick shift. So the first time we got on the track, I beat him. But the time we go to the track, then you had no lights on the track then. Somebody had to tell who won, you know, back then. The hand flag, do everything else back then when I first started the track. So it was 92 and I got on the track.
And that was your first time on the track?
First time on it, 92.
Really?
With a lowrider truck.
Man, so what did that do for you? Like, how was that feeling if you can remember back then, your first time taking something down the track?
Well, I wanted something faster.
So you were hooked?
I was hooked going down the track, you know, be honest with you. And when we, like I said, when I was going to the track, it was, when you first come in the track, dirt road. You remember that?
I ain't know.
Yeah, it was dirt road. When you first come in the track, it was dirt road. When you got to the track to come in the gate, pavement. So we just clean our cars up and just ride on the dirt, get to the track. Time we get in the track, we armor all the time. Because you couldn't do it coming in the dirt road.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, yeah.
Golly. So now you got the Nissan truck. Now, where do we go from here? Like, when do you start? So you got this feeling, you say, I want to go faster now. Mm-hmm. So what was your next step in going faster from this Nissan truck, this lowrider?
Well, my brother bought a Mustang. He was 15 years old when he bought a 79 Capri. Yeah. He got that, I drove it, and after that, like I said, my uncle had them too. My Uncle Freddie, he had one, my Uncle Kate had one, and my brother bought one. After that, I wanted one.
A fog body.
Yeah, I wanted a fog body. So I went and bought this red one from Dewey Warnock over in Millersville, Georgia. I bought it, and I took it to the track. Everybody said it was slow. I got it. There back then on the Thursday night at the track would give out trophies to the fast street car. Yeah. So I got the car, took it to the track, made it to the finals against Sean Mason. Yeah. And I jumped out on Sean. I didn't know it. I heard about nitrous, didn't know what it was. You know, I was out on about two car lengths.
So you just on motor at the time?
Yeah, he sprayed me. Had to spray me, boy. I said, boy, I gotta have some. I gotta have some of that nitrous quick.
So after that, then when you like, I ain't coming out here no more without it.
Well, after that, I kept that car for a little while. I painted it. Oh man, I forgot the guy's name. I think I probably one of the first cars in my town with like candy paint on the car. Yeah. I took the Freaknik in probably 94. I took the Freaknik 94. I painted it candy orange with a white top. Right. And the guy was Sparta painted. Man, I put like some wheel called ice on the front of it. It was real clean. I'm not gonna lie, a real clean car. But I got rid of that car there. Took it back to the same place, Dewey Warnock, where I went to, and I got a white Mustang for him, and it went from there.
The white Mustang.
Yeah, gas. Had to put gas on that car.
So that was this your first time, your first experience with nitrous?
Yeah, that was probably 90. Let me see. 90. I think John Peters and his brother, they introduced me to nitrous, dry system. Oh, and I had moved to Sparta, so I was in Sparta. I moved to Sparta in 93. I stayed in Sparta from 93 to 96, so they had to be about 90. I didn't keep that red car long. I had to say about 95. I think 95 when I put nitrous on.
95. So when you first put it on, what kind of shot? How much were you spraying? Since you just now getting your feet wet with it.
I don't even know. I know the bottle was this big.
Oh, small.
It was small, sneaker peak. About that long.
Yeah, that sneaker peak system.
One shot, one kill. That's all you had.
So now take us through that. When you take this thing to the track, or did you spray it in the street first? Try it out.
I sprayed it in the street first.
You sprayed it in the street.
Yeah, I killed everybody in the street. They didn't know.
How did you feel when you first felt that nitrous? I always ask this question.
Man, I'm to be honest with you, it kind of like riding on the airplane for the first time. Yeah. You know.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people never rode on the plane, but if you ever ride on the plane, and all of a sudden it boom, that's how I was feeling that first. I'm shifting gear, you know, and just getting to it. That's what I was doing. Man, but I ran a lot of people in Sparta with that car, and a lot of folk didn't know. I would pop the hood. You couldn't find it because the solenoid was in the console. The Mustang got a console right here. Yep. Solenoid right there, and the nitrous button right there, and the nitrous bottle was in the It's in the dash, but it's behind the dash.
Yeah.
You can flip the dash down and couldn't see it.
Yep.
But it was in the dash. So it took me sometimes 30 minutes to take that bar out. She had the what's called to get it filled. And the line ran under the dash to the comb out front, but it ran through the bottom.
Oh man.
So nobody never found out what I was doing.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Nobody never know what we're going to. Oh, that boy got a fast car. No. You should get sprayed. You gonna race back again? No. That bottle was empty.
So after you going through this nitrous and stuff, did it give you that feeling like, you know what, I want more and more?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you what I did. I took that same system and got me a bigger bottle, because the little bottle had no volume. I got a bigger bottle, took it to the track, didn't know nothing about heating the bottle up, none of that stuff. So I get to the track and Superman hooked it up for me. This one, Tony Smith. So when Tony hooked it up, he brought it to the track, said, try it. So he said, you need to heat the bottle up. So I'm just heating the bottle. No gauge, heating, no gauge, none of this stuff. So I said, you know what? I had my buddy Martillo with me. We left the track, went on the back side of the track. The road right beside the track.
Yep.
We went on the back side of the track, and when we went on the back side of the track, I sprayed it. But I would leave. He was sitting on the other side, and I would leave, get on, pop, pop. It kept popping. I'm like, why the thing popping? So we couldn't figure it out for nothing. So we tried it again. It pop, pop, pop. Then I said, boom, he hit hard. He was hollering on the other side. Woo, I gotta get me some. I introduced him to nitrous for the first time. Yeah. And I couldn't figure out then, I said, you know what, I'm not stop heating because I don't have no gauge. We didn't know nothing about this stuff back then.
No pressure gauge.
So when I finally got it right, that Mustang was a stock Mustang, 273 gear, and then there's nothing to it. And did this is early, probably 96, something like that, at the track. Yeah. It ran 830s.
God.
Shipping gear. And it was stock. No mufflers on, straight pipe.
That's crazy.
I put flow masters on to slow down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Scott don't like flow masters.
Restricted him.
Yeah, he don't like flow mouse. He call him choke mouse.
Shout out to Scott.
He call him choke. No lie. He call him choke mouse.
CP, y'all.
For real, no lie.
So now you getting your feet wet in the nitrous and stuff, and now you figuring things out and you going along. So from here, is this the same Mustang that you have now that we're talking about? So how many you done had?
Whew. About 15.
15?
Yeah.
What, Fox bodies?
Yeah. God, I done bought, sold.
15 Fox bodies.
I bought one, didn't have it no time, sold it. A lot of people just know the one, like the white one I got now. Yeah. A lot of people think the burgundy car. No, I still got the burgundy car.
Yeah, no, it's not. I know. So do you out of the ones you done sold, do you have any one you like, man, I shouldn't have sold that car?
Shoot, all of them now, what they call.
Yeah,
I should have kept all of them, to be honest with you. But I liked my GT. I had a white GT, real nice. It had I had 16 opponents on it at first. Little small 40 series tire, probably about
the thin ones.
Yeah, little thin. Yeah, yep. So after about a good 6-7 months, I got about 2 more front tires because the weight. I wonder why they kept cracking, but the weight on those tires, it wasn't called for that. The weight ratio, it wasn't called for that. It needed a bigger, thicker tire. Gotcha, so I kept cracking them, but I kept buying them because I liked them. Then I eventually ended up going to 18s.
Yeah, and that fixed everything.
Yeah, that fixed everything. Yeah, it was heavier, but the car was still faster because I had made changes to it, cam in it, intake, and other stuff on it, so it was faster. Right. But I never did time at that track, so I'm pretty sure it probably ran 7 something.
Yeah, never. So yeah, let's talk about that now. So you had this car ran 830s, and when did you start dipping into the numbers? Like, you like, I'm gonna say 7. Like, what was your first experience? Cause it's something about when you first break into them sevens. Like I interviewed Boost Doctor too. He was like, man, when I first hit them 7s, he was like, man, I thought I was the man.
Man, I had a let me see. It was, I want to say, it was, what's his name? Marcus Travick. I was at the track one day and I had my Mustang. And when I had that Mustang, Marcus had no, it wasn't before that. Trying to make sure. But I know Marcus Travick had a Cutlass. Yeah. He told me, man, just drive the car on the motor. I drove it on the motor faster than anything I ever had.
Oh, yeah.
So after that right there, I called, I was buying inside his house in Washington, Georgia.
Yeah.
And the man had an S10. I just bought it. You know, I hooked on Chevrolet then. I'm like, Chevrolet go fast. D4s on the motor.
Yeah.
So I bought the S10 with nothing done to it. Bought the S10. And I would have like Hatchet, Kevin Hatchet, you know, come to the track with like and stuff like that. So he had a car come to the track and he ran it. And it ran, I think like 680, 670, something like that.
Yeah.
I said, man, I want that motor. Transmission. I want everything in the car. I said, I'm gonna drop my S10 off. I dropped it all to him. And when I dropped it all to him, he probably did that car in about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
That motor, transmission, everything. You know, Hatchet one of the best mechanics out there.
Yeah, Hatchet get down.
They're one of the best compared to, I can't really complain about my cars, you know.
Right.
But the S10, when I had it, I used to take it to the track, man. I never had a problem with it.
Just low maintenance.
Never had a problem with it. Even my white car, never had a problem with it. You know, other white coupe that I had, never had a problem with it. I've been lucky. But the S10, I let Hatchet the S10, and he called me one day. I call him, and I'd be like, how long you got on? You know, let me know. I can pay you. I was at the house one day, so I'm not going to track. We like going to rain. Hatchet called me and said, where you at? So I'm at home. Come over there and drive your SHIT.
Yeah.
Something he playing. You know, so I go down there, my truck sitting in the water bar. So I get ready to do a burnout, and I'm thinking of running on the motor. I ain't not been that fast before. I'm saying running on the motor.
Yeah.
He opened the door up, pulled that thing down. It was a micro switch. We didn't have no button on it. You know you use a micro switch.
Yep.
So that truck was still on the collar.
Oh man.
Yeah, the truck was still on the collar. And he got me. He said, look, drive it. So I drove it. I think I went 7.0 on the gas.
Yeah.
You know, I was hooked. I was messed up then. You couldn't tell me nothing about Hatchet. Hatchet was the man.
The first time you done seen it type of normal.
Oh yeah, first time.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. And I took that. I tell this story all the time. A lot of folks don't know nothing about it, but I took that truck to the track one day and drove it, made a pass. I came back. I told Hatch, I said, hey man, the truck was vibrating, man. I think the drive shaft tore up. And then for real, you see Salisbury Hatch, they'll tell you. I said, man, the truck was vibrating. I think the drive shaft tore up on it, something like that. He said, pop the hood. Pop the hood. Looked at it. You can see the rod just jump. It had a big hole in the block. This big.
Yeah.
Whole block going. Truck still running.
Yeah.
So Hatch said, get what we can say. A snake motor don't let you down. It's going to get you back to the house. You know, they told me.
Yeah.
You know, I lived at the tracks. I drove it back to the house.
Yeah.
I took it back to him. And when I took it back to him, we put some, I don't know the heads we put on it. But we put the heads on it. And I got that truck to going. Well, Hatch got that truck to going. Stock shocks, tailpipe. Everything got, you know, I won't have nothing without tailpipe.
Yeah.
Everything got tailpipes on it. And they were probably, I can't remember the year, but I know I ended up getting that truck go 620. I can drive it anywhere. And I'm on the collar shifting. Foot braking.
That's insane, man.
Yep.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the truck. Now you saying some time. You like, okay,
oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
all right, I'm getting on down now. So in between this truck, when did your burgundy Mustang that a lot of people know you for too? When did that come about? Was it before the truck or was it after?
After the truck.
It was after the truck.
Yeah, because I had that truck early 2000.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of folks don't know, you know, I was running 630, 620, you know, early
Way
2000.
Then,
yeah, we've been rolling. It might not be fair to a lot of folks, but it was fair to me then.
Nah, they're rolling,
so
man.
folks come to the track, they want to see a race, you know, back
yeah.
then, yeah. They want to see a race. So I went from the truck to four-wheelers. I don't know, you remember the blue four-wheeler I had? Tim did for me?
I can't remember though.
Yeah, I had a blue four-wheeler stock cylinder. I went to it. I went to that truck and I bought a Mustang. So I had that blue, I had a white Mustang stick shift.
Yeah.
It would run like 770s on the motor. I bought it from a guy that worked with Scott, Cooper Farmer named Ricky. Ricky dead and gone now, but I bought the truck from him. Right. I bought that car from him. Right. And it looked like a stock motor and everything, you know. And that one time, and Scott will tell you too, I had the fastest stock block car at the time, you know, coming to the track. But you know, Scott built a car that and just killed them numbers.
Yeah.
Because at the time he was like, you know, I had the fastest at the time. You know, that was way back then. But I left that. I took that four-wheeler I had. It was like a completely stock four-wheeler. I took that 4-wheeler to Atlanta Motor Speedway in 2006. The first time they opened up,
Yeah.
if you can remember. The line, it took it probably, Hot Rod told us to bring them. It took it probably 2 hours to get in Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was 06 when they first opened.
Right.
Was that Friday?
Yeah, Friday night.
Friday.
Right?
So I took it up there. Hot Rod, me and my buddy from Texas, he was living in Atlanta. We took the 2 4-wheelers up. They let her race. And then the next week, Hot Rod told me he wanted to do a 4-wheeler class.
Right.
So we came back the next week. I brought my 4-wheelers up. The lady told me when I first come in, she said, "Where you going to put the 4-wheeler? You ain't going to win that tonight." You know, she was joking though.
Yeah.
So I took the 4-wheeler out there. It was probably about, in Tim, I'm going to tell you, kick it race, tell you, probably about 20 some 4-wheelers out there. Hot Rod tell you too.
Yeah.
Took my 4-wheeler out there and outran everybody.
Really?
Fought 5 new were there. I want to say somebody else was there. You know, big channels.
Yeah.
So when I won, they interviewing me. You know,
yeah.
I get it there telling about this. I don't want to worry about my money. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to win some money. I didn't win no money,
exactly.
you know. And this says a lot right here. Because it's about making memories. When I said this to a lot of folks, it's about making memories. And what I say about this, it ain't about the money all the time.
Well, definitely.
Because that money, you don't have nothing to show for it.
Absolutely.
So for me, just to get that trophy, I wanted the money at the time, but it took a while for it to kick in. I wanted the money at the time, but that award that I got in that interview with Fox 5, you know, I can always go back and look. You know, I got them. Yeah. That money be gone.
That's true.
That money be gone.
That's true.
So that whole thing, I tell everybody, life ain't nothing but taking a chance of making memories. You're not making memories, you're not leaving.
That's true. That's some real game right there. Yeah, you dropped something right there then.
Yep.
So now you got into the 4-wheelers, and so then the Burgundy, the 5-speed come after that.
The 5-speed came in 07.
And what matter of fact, is that when you got the name? Where did the name Mr. Fivespeed come from? That's when it birthed right there. I thought so. So who gave you that name, or did you come up with it yourself?
I think I want to say, man, they were calling me there at the track. You know, oh, that boy can ship them gear. You know, that 5-speed. Yeah. So then when I came on my YouTube channel in 2009, come on YouTube channel, I just put it up, Mr. Fivespeed.
Mr. Fivespeed. Yeah.
So when I met with what the name, Malcolm Story and all them. Yep. Like, here come Mr. Fivespeed. So it took off from there.
It took off from.
Yeah, it took off from there.
So it just kind of fell in your lap then.
Fell in my lap. But it already was a guy named Mr. Fivespeed, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think Edmund Hall.
Edmund Hall. Yep. That's who. Mm-hmm. But you the street called Mr. Fivespeed.
Yeah, I would. Let me say that I would now, yeah.
So around this time too, you were just primarily racing, and now let's talk about the Shut Up and Race series. Like, what gave you that idea, you know, and how did you come up with that name? Like, when did it start?
Shut Up and Race started when I tell you how we got the name. It started because my dad-in-law and a couple more other guys, three more other guys on the track, and my daughter was born, and she was a preemie. Yeah. So she went on like, I may get that wrong. So Tree, if you listening, my wife, you know, I think she was like 1 pound 5 ounces. She was this long. She was like from right here to right here. Wow. Yeah. So when she was born, you know, I'm in the room with Treese and because she had what they call preeclampsia or something like that. Yeah. Where, you know, a protein in the urine, stuff like that. So she had to have a baby early. I want to say 25 weeks or something like that. So she came out real small. She's like a little smaller rat. Right. So when she was born, I'm in the room with Tree like, I can't hear my baby cry. I can hear my baby cry. That first thing come out of her mouth, you know, she want to hear that cry. Yeah. And she was drugged up out of there from the what you call. So I'm looking at them. They get out. She moving around. All of a sudden, boom. She just went limp. You know, they hold. She went limp. They put a tube in her mouth, and then she just come out the movie. You know? Yeah. And with that being said, before we got to racing, that we had Blue Cross. Still got Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is good insurance. So my daughter Bill was probably, I think, the sitting there every day was $6,000-7,000 a day. Oh, just to be in the NICU. She was in Rockdale. Yeah. She was in Rockdale for 4 months. Then she went to, I want to say Egerson for 3 months. Then when they put the trach in her throat. So them bills are getting bigger and bigger. Every operation,
Yeah,
$30, $40, $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
So those bills end up totaling up to like over $2 million, 7 months. Excuse me, for real, over $2 million. So we still paying bill, you know.
Yeah.
So by that time by that time we started getting bills in the mail, stuff like this. So we said we talked to the owners about could we throw events and we make some money or whatever. And we would get them majority of the money. We didn't care. We make some money. We help pay those bills to that to my daughter bill. So they ended up letting her do it. And how the name come about, it was 2 people that wanted to race, not call a name. 2 people really want to race each other. They were arguing back and forth for about 2 weeks. They got to the track, one rolled down on the other one. And I had been listening to them all day, 2 weeks. And one made a pass. Well, no, he got ready to make a pass. The other guy rolled down on him. And when he rolled down on him, we sitting there wondering, the guy that wanted to race, he beat him. I'm sitting there wondering, like, somebody said, what those guys that ain't came back yet? I said, I bet they fight. Yeah. I got on my little son dirt bike, went down there to the they had 5:30 that day, 5:30 truck there. I got down there to the finish line. Sure enough, they fight.
They fight. Just like
they fight. Nobody know what's going on. They fight.
Yeah.
So we got back. So man, Tree just sitting at the house there talking. And she might argue about this. I don't know who said it first. I think I said it. And I said, we're trying to think of a name. Our event. We already had the event coming, you know. September the 12th, 2009, the first time we First event, yeah. Wow. So I told Trees, I'm sitting in the house, I said, I wish them guys did something, shut up. I said, they come down here, they fight, they want to race. I said, I think I said it. She thinks she said it. I said, with them guys that shut up and race. I think she said, boom. That's the name of the event. Shut up and race.
Talking about that situation.
You're talking about that situation.
And that's how the name come about.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, for real.
It's crazy. Cause that's the most unique name for an event that I ever heard.
Oh yeah.
But it's to the point. It's to the point. Like a lot of that do need to go on, especially with you know, in the grudge game and the no time game. It is a lot of that going on, that back and forth and stuff too. Yeah. So now with the event, I noticed too, like you when it started out, you brought like all the streetcar guys came out. Yeah. Like, was that part of your planning to cater toward like the more streetcar guys and the true streetcar guys and stuff, and give them a stage and the race on?
I said this at J Bond event. I told J Bond, I said, cause I don't know how long Summit been here, you know. And I told Jay, I said, a lot of folk think that NHRA and this and that keep Summit going. No. Nah. Them doors open for everyday Joe Blow. Yep. So we started doing local. That's all I want to see anyway, because that's what I was doing, you know. And I knew my main thing doing with the track and hold and what I like to see. So we started doing streetcar racing. And I also told Jay, you know, when I had that meeting up there, his thing, I said, you know, to me, y'all think that these guys are big guys. Everybody a big guy to me.
Me too, yeah.
Everybody to me is a big guy. You know, that's just me. Yeah. You know, everybody a big guy.
I agree.
So that's how they, you know, that's why we did more streetcar stuff, you know. I never did want to do the big car stuff. I still don't do the big car stuff. You know, that's just not me.
Gotcha. So now I heard, you know, I'm backtrack. I heard you say your wife, you know, you mentioned wife, which shout out to Patrice. But how did y'all meet? How did that come about?
Man, at the track, she said I would come to the track, my buddy Rick, Sahara, Chantrell, and she would be at the gate or whatever. And she said we all coming in. You say, hey, chicken head. But I never would call her. I ain't gonna say not Rick, Sahara. They might say, you know, had to come in. So one day, Scat, her cousin Scat. So I'm out there talking Scat one day, and I just started talking to her. You know, had my son with me, my older son Marcus. So I just started talking to her, and it went from there. So we started talking in '99.
So
been together since '99.
Been together a long time.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't do half the stuff I got without her. Really hardly none of it, to be honest with you.
So what made you say like she the one? Like
me? I would have to say, to me, she's smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she look good. She fine too. You know that. all that just plays a bonus.
Yeah,
you know, when you look at somebody, she's just smart, intelligent, she about business.
Oh yeah, she
You know,
handled business.
that pretty much did it for
Absolutely.
me. You know, I'm gonna tell them three right there pretty much did it. All that good look and to me fine and all that, they're just a bonus.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just
yeah,
a bonus to me that come with
That's
everything else.
Now, reason I always ask if guys are married and stuff too. I ask them questions too because this leads into my next question. Seeing that you into hot rod and drag racing is expensive. On all levels and stuff too. And often, you'll hear about, man, my wife she don't like that. Or they do. So how do y'all navigate that? How was she with you in the hot rod and like buying car parts and doing car stuff, drag racing? Like
she would go buy me parts sometime, Most time
my money.
My money.
Yeah.
But she had bought me part with her money too, And she just she been around all her life. Her brother, Daryl, he got cars. Bill built other motor for other people. Her daddy got cars, motorcycles. Who know how many cars her daddy got?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of folk come to the track to their junkyard, but man, it's hundreds out there.
Yeah.
He got a lot of stuff. From Camaros, they pretty much Chevy guy,
Right.
Yeah, I was still a Ford man. I just jumped to a Chevy for a little while.
Yeah.
Because when I drove that Cutlass from Marcus, it made me say, I'm sticking with it doggone Chevrolet. Forget a Ford. But I went back quick.
went right back
quick.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right back to it. So she come up with around the car. So obviously y'all just meshed real good then.
Yeah, Tree kind of like a little thug. Tree can drive anything, man. I don't care what truck it is, stick shift, ride motorcycles. She can do it all, She's kind of a little thug to me,
So now look, we going along. You got the Shut Up and Race series going and stuff too. And so you were telling a story. You were telling a story about y'all daughter and everything.
Yeah.
So that's the bills and stuff. That's why y'all originally started the series.
That's why we started, yeah.
The bills.
Oh yeah. We living down by the track.
Yeah, I remember.
So we living down by the track. Tree worked at Georgia College. I ain't gonna lie, she was making more money than me.
Yeah.
I was working in Greene County, making decent money. And those bills, man, them things that keep coming. They kept coming. Tell you, she'll tell you, I added over $2 million in 7 months. I seen babies come in there, and I seen family come in there and go. Man. Until my baby passed away. Yeah. I think the dude, Music Soul Child, I want to say Music Soul Child, I don't know if he got a daughter or a son. There was another side there too.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised who all done had preemies, So we was up when we was up there, we seen so much stuff, man, you wouldn't believe it, from intestines out.
I can only imagine.
Hey, it's a baby this big, and the doctor telling you, you think you might get a phone call anytime, like, your baby about to go.
So
you didn't know, but but the doctor took us inside and told us that the black female baby is the strongest baby in the world. Really? Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's for real. The doctor told her that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no lie.
Man, so it's really this one of them events that like y'all real passionate about. It's a meaning behind it. It wasn't.
It's a meaning.
It wasn't just like some guy coming like I see a money grab.
No, it wasn't about that. Right. It wasn't about that. A lot of people get in it to where they want to make a big league. They don't care no more. We've been doing this stuff too long. I want to see a constant flow. Right. Constant flow. It wasn't about the money. It was more about us seeing people happy, having a good time. We had some people from Virginia used to come to Shut Up and Race every time. I didn't even know it. They sit way out in the field. And when they sit in that field, probably like and tricks tell you, about 20 people that sit in that field. So I went out there one day. Yeah. And I'm just talking, they ain't know who I was. They talking, they having a good time. Not looking at no race. They weren't looking at racing, period. They come to the cookout and have a good time. And it was young and old. So I did talking to him one day. And when I was talking to him, I told him, me and my wife do the event. We want to thank you. We never seen so many people come out here with no problem and have a good time. Right. So they came every year.
Yeah, coming from Virginia.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Now, so what do you feel what do you feel to help y'all stay consistent with this? Cause this is a series like you been consistent. I mean, from 2009
Mhm.
up to now, y'all have been consistently throwing and hosting this event.
Yeah.
So what do you think been like your contributor to keeping y'all consistent with everything?
I would have to say keeping our nose clean for one, like, staying neutral in everything.
Yeah.
Being that we had a platform at Headhunter, they had a lot to do with it too. Being that family owned it, and we pretty much could do a lot of stuff that a lot of other people couldn't do. And I give them the utmost, all of them, from my dad-in-law Roger, the one they called Chicken, Ted, and Scat. They gave us the opportunity to do this stuff. At Headhunter, we appreciate all of that, and
Right.
it took off.
Yeah,
A
it
lot
did.
of people. I can go back and look at stuff now. It's a lot of people started there now.
Yeah, they did.
Before we started there, a lot of people already started, but it's a lot of people started at our event. And I didn't know that until, we did our first, what it was? Our first, you were there, first
The awards
banquet.
banquet, yeah.
Yeah, and then people got there and talked that. I started down there, I started here. We gave, like Anna say, we gave, not bragging, nothing like that. We gave a lot of people a chance,
Yeah, y'all did.
For us, we had like, I think that what really kept us going, kept the name going, is for me, we sought after making our own superstar.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
had Swine,
Yep.
we had Blow, CBC. It was CBC at the time.
Yep.
And we had, one more I said today. It was Swine, Blow, and one more, man. It'll come to me in a minute. And we pretty much pushed them and pushed them and pushed them and pushed. And it pretty much, took off. And another thing is the fact that we had the best videographer it is in the world. They go from you, J-Bo 107,
Yep.
Gunner Pick started with us,
Gunner Picks,
and
yep,
then
so
you had me.
Yep.
So
Yep.
everybody wanted to come because they see what going on. Like, darn, you putting out stuff, J-Bo putting out
J-Bo,
stuff,
yep.
I'm putting out stuff, other people putting out stuff, but we lighting YouTube up.
Oh,
Even before
most
Facebook and all that stuff
mo-
come out,
most
we were
definitely.
lighting YouTube
Most
up,
definitely, man. I got to
Yeah.
I got to shout you out too, cause when I'm telling my story on how I got started, I was like, you the person that gave me my first chance, start introducing me, cause I'm coming from big rim stuff and out here spinning
around on the street, yeah.
donuts and stuff, but
Yeah.
coming to the track, like you the first person I met, like a big brother to me and said, hey, let me meet you this guy. And you put me in the right rooms and put me in the position. So I want to thank you. I told you before, but I
Oh,
want
yeah,
to thank
yeah,
you and
told me
tell
I
you,
appreciate it.
tell
Trust
you,
me.
I tell people that I like Mandrell gave me my first chance, man. He gave me my chance to put me in the room and
I
stuff
think
too.
when I started watching your video, you put up a lot of stuff out there spinning around. I just seen Scooby-Doo the other day.
Yeah. Shout out to Cam.
Yeah, old Cam. I seen
Yep.
Cam about 2 weeks ago at BP in Edenton. It was Jet Food Store. I seen him in
Yeah.
Edenton, man. It just been a minute, We also had, for a female while, I had to say, man, Miss Supersport. We pretty much pushed Miss Supersport harder
Yeah.
than other women over there.
Yep.
She was more vocal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her
absolutely.
mouth, boy, she let it right. She
Yeah,
thug
yeah.
like now. What is Zone 6 in it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zone
Miss
6.
Supersport,
Yep.
she would talk. That's what I would say. We had Miss Supersport. She started early, it was Swine, Blow, CBC, Miss Supersport.
Yep.
Those are, our one. We also, Walt came along.
Yeah, he
So
did.
we named Walt. Man, I gave so many of them names, like,
So
and still sticking with them.
Did y'all give him the number 187 walk?
Yeah, I gave Walt
You gave him
187. I gave my homeboy
that
Coop,
name.
Coop King. I gave my homeboy Mark. I gave him Badass. I gave a couple other people names and still sticking with them today. They still go by it.
That's crazy. Yeah, we and I know I'll name folks too. Like I know a lot of people don't know like
Name stuck with it, man.
The L Dog. Yeah,
Yeah, L Dog stuck with it too. Yeah,
they stuck to
I would have L Dog around. They
Dog.
beat me. They beat me down in Jackson. I let the boy. Who I wish still here.
Man, hey, let's talk about it. So what's been your biggest grudge race? Your biggest grudge race ever?
I don't know. I treat all of them big. I'm trying to think. We won the biggest one. Whew,
Well, okay. Let me. We'll let you think on that. So, what's been your most anticipated grudge race? Like everybody want to see you race this person that went down. What was your most anticipated grudge?
Man,
race?
I would have to say I would say the Air Dog, but I get Air Dog number 2. The second time I went to Orlando.
Yeah.
So that was 2000. I went in 12. It was 13. 2013, I went to Orlando. Took my car to Orlando. And I ran smoke. When I got to the track, Edison always packed, you know. Edison always packed. So you go to Edison, you can take 2 10-second cars, and you got 300-400 people looking at it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference between Edison and everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, everybody want to see that, you know. So I got in there and ran smoke. I had a headache. I had a bad headache. I had drove that Suburban that night. I had a bad headache. And I was like, you know, I'm thinking about just playing punk out. My head was hurting so bad.
Yeah.
So I just said, forget it, I'm going to run. They gave me the back tire. Smoke had an all-out race car. He gave me the back tire. My light was and everybody know me. They know I'm going to cut that tree before I leave. I don't care who it is. I feel like I'm better than anybody.
Yeah,
you know, that's just me. So I had a 9-something light. I was late.
Oh, yeah.
I can see smoke all up in the air. I was so glad he was all up in the air and came down over my lane. I was gone, though. You know, I was gone. And to me, though, one of, you know, I got so many of them, you know, and it was all the trailer. You know me?
Yeah,
Everything I do going to be all the
yeah.
trailer. I am all the trailer. Mr. All the trailer.
So that's been your most anticipated.
Yeah.
Now, what's been like your biggest rival? Who you think your biggest rival is in drag race?
Shoot, man, I'd probably say myself.
Yourself? I
had to be myself. You know, I be want to.
So
you want to win all the time. You know,
you racing against yourself pretty much. Like,
yeah, it ain't about the money to me. I'm in my mind. Do what I'm saying. That's why I say the reason why I say myself, because I don't want to be lead late and I lose race because I'm late.
Yeah,
you know, I beat myself. I want to go. So I always. A lot of folk don't know. You know, I used to bracket race. Yeah. I have bracket race. I have never won a bracket race before. I have got second place. I ran a 650 class with my blue S10.
Yeah.
And ended up being the number 1 qualifier. And I forgot the dude's name that beat me with a Castle with a Ghost car. He beat me with I think it was a Regal. He beat me, and that was in the finals. But with pit bracket, now I had a little scooter, a gray scooter. You might remember that. Had a little gray scooter. I was out there running like from Baby, all the rest of them out there. I beat them twice.
Yeah.
We did it. I beat the first one we did. When we came back, everybody put money back in. We did it again. I beat him again. And then the third one, I lost. That doggone Baby tricked me.
Yeah.
His motorcycle probably would go 5-something. You know, my scooter was probably going 18, 19. No, it was going 15 something.
Yeah.
So what Baby did, I didn't look at his dial in. He died in a 20-something. So I'm sitting there, waiting. I'm looking at his light go down. Baby leaving. Why you reading so early and slow on that fast bike? So I'm watching him. And my light done dropped by the time I took off and thought about it. Yeah, they're just going to trick me. He got there and stopped at the finish line and waited on me.
Just waited.
And then the creek crawl. Yeah, it threw me off.
Smart,
he got me good with that one. I ain't going to lie about that. He got me good with that one.
Golly, so bracket racing background.
Yeah. Bracket racing help you with learning numbers.
Yeah.
That's what wrong with the guys now. They don't know numbers.
Yeah.
Because you can go to the track and get a ticket, and at the bottom, it'll say margin of victory.
Yeah.
If you know, you ever seen that?
Yeah.
If you know how to do it and do the math on it, if you beat somebody, you can add, subtract, or whatever you're going to do. Exactly. It'll tell you exactly what the other man went. A lot of folks don't know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need no numbers.
That is a good little thing to know for real. Mm-hmm. Like you said. So now you start, I mean, you done did bracket racing, you did that. And I keep hearing you mention the S10, which bring me back to this. Yeah. Now you had a white S10.
Yeah.
I gotta talk about this.
That one I wish I'd kept.
You got a white S10, and that joke had I'm gonna let you tell them about a Vortex engine.
You had a Vortex motor in it. Lil Rod did it.
Yep.
Lil Rod did it up there in Conyers. I dropped it out with Lil Rod. It came with a 305 in it. I dropped it out with Lil Rod, and I told Lil Rod, I'm just being honest, Lil Rod be mad. So he did a good job on the motor. You know, C did the transmission. C for what that transmission was, the 4-speed.
700 R4.
700 R4. C did it for me. He did the motor. And I told him, and that truck had a power one on it. Whoever had that truck, it had a power one on it. You know, like, not power one. They had power ones in it too. Had a power antenna. I like the antenna on it in front. Yeah. So cut the radio on.
Antenna
come up. I told the rod, do not leave my truck outside. I come back up there, somebody broke the antenna off.
Oh, man.
You already know they smoke crack with it probably. I don't know. You know, a crackhead tear antenna off and smoke. Yep. So the neighborhood wasn't bad, but that's what I'm thinking happened, But but when I got that truck, brought it to the track, that truck would go 8 O's on hard tie, and it would go 7.9 and 7.8 on gas. I mean on slick. So it was working good on hard tie.
Yeah.
And on gas, baby put the gas on it. And on gas, I went 7.0 with it. Trees even drove the truck down to LaGrange. Tree went 8 something, 840, 830, something like that driving. So it was on the collar too.
I remember.
All my son, I ain't had none of the floor and stuff, none of it. So my son drove it. My oldest son drove it. He went 690.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he outdid me. He went 690. I think he was just lighter.
Man, and how much nitrous you had on that truck at the time?
Probably about 150.
A 150 shot.
Yeah, about 150.
And it was getting done. Man, that truck, you remember that night. Now, we had a night. We went up to Atlanta.
Walked 187.
We went to the hole, and they swore up and down. You didn't drive it up there.
Yeah, yep, sure did.
And they thought you sprayed that night.
Yep, and I didn't.
No.
Didn't need to. Didn't need to. Only somebody I sprayed was, I wish I can find the video, was we went to Ellenwood. Swine and myself. Swine said, come on, let's go to Ellenwood.
Yeah.
We ran, what his name is? Wayne Grant. Wayne Grant
yeah,
S10.
yeah,
Still got
Grant.
S10.
Yeah.
So I get up there and I beat Wayne. Sorry, Wayne. I beat Wayne in front of his family.
Yeah.
He was right in front of the house. Everybody on the porch just looking at the race.
Yeah.
So when I beat Wayne, they want to run me back so bad. I got tricked on the flag, man. Because they said this man was going to flag. Then get to somebody else flag. Wayne was gone.
Oh, he took the hit.
Yeah, I didn't know what the finish line was. So get what I did. Kept going till he stopped. I'm looking in the mirror. I kept going till he stopped. To be honest with you. So I came back. They wanted to race again. And the only reason I didn't run them again, Swine said, come on, let go. So when Swine came out there, Swine turned the light on. Swine was hauling the car back then. He turned the little caution light on.
Yep.
They had to surround me. They wouldn't let me load my truck up or nothing. They want to race again that bad. So once they did that, I ain't even scrapped the truck down. I put it in park, put it on the thing, and Swine escort me out of there. They want to beat me so bad. I said, boy, I tell you the truth.
All right, so now you went through, you've been going through your timeline and stuff, you said you went up there to Atlanta, you ran Wayne Grant. Mm-hmm. Wayne Grant. So what made you, matter of fact, let's get into, you had the S10 and you had the Burgundy 5-speed, but we never got to your car you now known for, which is Cyanide. How did this car come about? What's the history on that car? Like how long you had it? Cause that's a bad ride, boy.
I bought that car in 2010 from Sean Mason.
Really?
Yeah, when I bought it, it had a 408 motor in it. And the motor that was in it, I took it to the track. A lot of people don't know that Aunt Bonin worked on the car. Aunt Bonin wired it up, got everything right. ABP, shout out to ABP.
Shout out to ABP.
It's some bad mechanics out here, man.
Yes, indeed.
ABP worked on it, and all he did really was wire the car up. And you might think I'm lying. I still got wiring in my car from ABP right now.
Really?
Never had a problem out of it, period. So he wired it up. We took it to the first time I took it to the track was probably the same week after they wired it up. And that car didn't go over like 640s, I think, with a 408. Man, the car turtle. You know what I'm saying? I said the car turtle.
Yeah.
So all he did put the nitrous on it. I didn't have no anti-roll bar on it. None of it. The car doing the stinking leg. I still got a video.
Yeah, I remember.
The spray paint, that way it primed down. Yeah, all up in the air like that.
Yep.
Yeah. That the first time I took it to the track. You can see John White in the background. I think Rick in the background looking at it. I got the ticket. I think it was like 640. So I don't want this. This ain't gonna do it. So man, what's his name, man? P0. Remember P0 had the burgundy car?
Yep, I remember.
So P0 had a motor in his car from Scott. It was a 363 iron-headed motor. I bought that motor from P0, and when I bought it, we put it in the car. Blow put it in the car.
Yeah.
Blow put it in the car. We had a race over in Aberdeen, Mississippi, and Blow put it in the car. And when he put it in the car, we went to, went to Aberdeen, and car was untested. I get over there, and car still doing the stinking leg.
Same thing.
Yeah, car still doing the stinking leg, and I ran Swine over there, and cause Swine had beat me in Edenton, but I didn't have a suspension right on the car, at that time. So Swine, we all rode over there, and I beat Swine over there, and I lost to, I forgot the other guy's name, I lost to it, but the car it wasn't right, so I took the car to Scott. He put an anti-roll bar.
Scott Miller, Cooper
Form. Yeah, he put an anti-roll bar on it, and he dynoed the car. When he dynoed the car, P0 comes to the track with his motor, right?
Yeah.
That motor probably had 300 pass on it, yeah. I mean, because P0 comes to the track, he beat it.
Yeah, he running.
So I put the car on the dyno. First time I get on the dyno up, Scott I had that motor and blow put in. So they had two systems on it. Scott said, he can vouch for it too now. I put it on the dyno. He said, okay, put one system on it. Put one system on it, heat it. I said, man, you got to grab the other one. You sure you want to grab the other one? No, he told me, he said, man, P0 got the pass on that thing. I said, man, grab it. So he grabbed, it worked,
Yeah.
It didn't tab now. When I work, everything working on the car at Jim, he thought it was going to blow up. Because P0, I'm taking, he probably had about 200 pass on that motor.
Oh, yeah.
So I got it. And when I got it, getting that car go 6-0. I wanted to go in the 5 with it, right? So I took it. I was in Edenton.
So at that time, you had never went in the 5s?
No.
Golly.
I went 620 with my blue truck.
Right.
Way up early 2000.
Right.
So I went to the 4-wheeler, then I went to the stick shift burgundy car.
Yep.
And had the S10, the other S10. So I always kept something, to play with. And then when I did that, I took it down to LaGrange. I took it to Edenton. I couldn't. It seemed like when you're trying to go a number, like sometimes people go 7-0, you stuck on 7-0.
Yeah,
you want to see a 6, see how to run a 6, no different from a 6 from a 680 to a 7-0. You can't really tell.
Yep.
So I was in Edenton one day, that thing went $5.99 with a 9. Boy, you told my smile was happy. I said, boy, you deserve some paint now. So I took it straight up to Tom Armour and painted it white for me.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care how you paint it, just paint it. So he painted it white for me.
Yeah.
Then I took it down to LaGrange. I don't know if you were there that day. I know J-Bo was. J-Bo made a video on it. I ended up going, I made a pad in 6-0. My last pass, man, I'm so sick of the thing. I got the ticket, $5.98. I said, yeah, you deserve some wheels. So I put some wheels on that thing, I gotta get it right,
Yeah.
So I ended up buying, taking that motor out. I bought a 4.8, and
So you went back to a 4.8.
Yeah, 4.8. That was just a little street model. I should have kept put in my burgundy car.
Yeah.
If I knew what I knew now. John White bought it from me. So Scott bit me a 4.8. We put it in the car. But I ended up going with the iron headed motor. I ended up going like 5. I can talk about number because that paid.
Yeah.
I ended up going like 580 something with that car.
Yeah.
With the iron headed 363. Yeah. We had factory seats in it.
That's
no
amazing.
cage, everything. With some thresh mufflers on the pipes on it probably, but they might have been 2.5. But it was out the back, over the X out the back.
Yeah.
So I got that, and then I ended up buying. Later on a bottom end from Key, Damon Watkins. I ended up buying a bottom end for him, and I got it from Scott. And they're at the bottom end, it's still in my car now.
To this day.
Yeah, to this day.
So now, what made you gravitate towards like coupe performance for this build? Like when you went to the new engine,
man. To talk about it here, Scott's a legend, man. When we go to the track, I'd love to see Scott and Hatchet. Hatchet, I don't know, they go at it, man.
Yeah.
They both look like two 7.0 cars at the time, Scott and Hatchet. So Hatchet test Scott up too.
Yeah,
he test Scott up. I think Scott let that one tell him he'd never beat him again or something like that. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking anyway. But Scott come down. I think the car Scott was driving at the time might have been his white car, But Scott built that green car. You remember that green car he had?
Yep.
He drive to the track.
Yep.
I think it had a 393 in it, something like that. Man, I was hooked on that car there. Car. So I just wanted to go faster. So by that time, like I said, I got the motor from Keith, now chain the head, the other stuff. And that car been together since, what I got in now been together since 2016. Yeah.
Been together that long.
Yep. First time ever getting pulled out of the track was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And that because the flywheel boat had bagged out. I
Oh,
thought
man.
it was the exhaust, you know, kept going tap, tap, tap. Thought the exhaust. And I was getting ready to rent Fat Boy, Chris Fat Boy, you know.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to do. That put it back in and go. I've been lucky that all the cars I done had, cars and trucks I done had, I never had too many problems with them, and I had to put too much money in them. You know, like the white car, it been together since 16. But you know me, I come out the trailer. I don't go to the track just to. I'm either gonna get on the class off the trailer. I'm gonna rent somebody out the trailer for a small amount of money because I don't bet no big money. I can if I want to, but I just don't. Because at the end of the day, you bid these cars, you think you get all your money back out of it? Never. You're the biggest fool in the world.
I talk about it all the time. So let's talk about that too, because that's another question I ask people. What's been the smallest bet and the biggest bet you ever done?
Smaller bet? Probably hamburger and fries.
Yep.
Probably hamburger and fries. Me and the guy bet a hamburger and fries. The biggest bet, I only bet at 500.
Yeah. That's your limit. Like,
yeah, that's my limit. I don't care about nothing else, you know. I feel like I can go make 500 a day sometime, you know.
That's good.
So that's why I do that. But my biggest bet was probably about,
let's say
biggest 5,000.
Biggest pot. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, 5,000.
About 5,000.
Now when
I only had 500 in it.
When you running for that big amount of money, did that change anything for you? Like the feeling still the same? Everything
the same to me.
Right.
Because I only bet what I'm gonna bet, so I got no pressure on me.
Yeah.
So I don't care what the pot is, none of that. We bet it. I drove somebody else's car, and the pot was $18,000.
Yeah.
I put my $500 in, and I said, I don't care what y'all betting. Don't want to know. I walked out, got in the car, strapped in the seat, bet it on the tree, beat the guy on the tree, but he got paid. He tried to pay me for driving the car. I ain't want it, you know, because at the end of the day, I was driving the car.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want that.
And I done heard you say that before too. Like, I don't even want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I walk off. Now, even when cut y'all. Even when we had a race in Edison, the pot was, and these two cars probably couldn't go. I know they couldn't go 6 nothing. The pot was 22,000 apiece. It was 44,000. They bought the money to me and told me to count it. I'm not counting nothing.
Yeah.
I said, give me your money. I gave his money to the other man. We swapped money. They counted, and when they counted it, I went and got a plastic bag, put it in a plastic bag, put duct tape on it.
Yeah.
So however you give it to me, how you get it back.
That's how you get it back.
Because at the end of the day, if you take that duct tape off, you're gonna tear that plastic up.
Yep.
So if the money not right, that's the way y'all gave it to me.
Yeah.
So they couldn't say, you know, that I did none of that, you know. So
right.
That's why I do that.
Now let me ask you this: while we on the subject of running, you know, betting and stuff too, I noticed with you over the years, like some guys they raise their pots to the moon, man.
Yeah.
And some guys absolutely would not race another individual unless they meet their number.
Yeah.
But with you, what makes you different? Because I know guys will run you, man. Like, I guess it's your personality or something, but guys will run you because or maybe it's just you stand on what you stand for.
I stand on what I say I'm gonna do.
Yeah. So that you think that's why guys will run you? They'll run you. Like, it basically what I'm saying, you'll take one guy and it can be the same guy. He say, I'm not running you over here unless you bet 5,000, but I go run Mandrell for the 500.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That don't happen before. Even when I went to Tennessee out there, I know the guy, he wanted to bet me $2,000.
Yeah.
I said, I know how I come. You can get this 500 or I rent somebody else.
Right.
You know, it ain't about that money with me.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lose that money and come home looking like a fool, not me.
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't that serious to me. That's why so many people act the fool now. You know, they want to bet a whole lot. I can't knock nobody how they do their thing. You
Absolutely.
know? It's so many people come to the track. You probably seen it too. They want to bet. Well, I'm gonna bet 5,000. They try to bet this man 5,000 when they first get there.
Yep.
But that man trying to bet him 2,500. But when time to go, he looking for that man for that 2,500. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
You should have took the 2,500 first time.
Yeah,
you know.
true.
So now, but they don't want to race you now. You could have ran him off the rip. That's why I only like to race all the trailer. I don't want to see no car. If you gonna gap me then.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna gap you. If I see you go down the track and I think you're too fast for me, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you're gonna beat me, let me see you go by me.
Exactly.
You know. Other than that, I'm not going out there.
Now, do you think that stops a lot of racing, that these outrageous pots?
It stopped some. Some people said the stuff that we were doing, video, that don't stop no race.
No.
They don't stop no race. Many times people don't see us put up cars and get what they say. I want to rent him.
Yeah,
because they seen it.
Exactly.
I want to rent him.
Exactly.
You got some people be like, I don't want to rent him.
Right.
It don't matter, but I think more racism came from what people see.
Absolutely.
Compared to what they don't know.
Right.
And there'll be a lot of it. A lot of people get racist all that. So they can kill me with that. That don't stop no race.
Yeah, man. You get that a lot as a videographer.
Yeah, don't video my car.
Yeah,
but then everybody in the bleacher doing, man, you better get out of my face.
I know. In today's age, we're in a different age. That cell phone video go just as fast as a guy of our caliber, which got notoriety in a channel. That cell phone video of the person you don't know.
Yeah, you got to think. We had to come home and put it on YouTube. It's different now.
Exactly.
People go live on YouTube right now.
Right now. And then hit that save button and it's up.
It's up.
It's up. You can see it in minutes.
You see it. Yep. See it in minutes.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So don't you can't knock the person out here videoing your stuff. If you don't want your car videos, hey man, I don't want my car video.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Don't go going off on nobody because you see somebody doing it. They just doing it. I don't knock nobody out here trying to, do videos, anything else,
Right.
Keep them doing something bad.
Yeah,
you never know.
That is true. That is true, man. Now, I heard you I heard you say, so the videos, talking about the videos and in our previous conversation you mentioned your YouTube channel. Now, do you plan on getting your YouTube channel going? Cause your videos and Malcolm, man, I love the commentary. Man, the commentary, it just it was another feel of film. Everybody got their own style and stuff.
I was just gonna say that.
Y'all style, man, the narration.
Oh yeah.
Like, so do you plan on coming back to YouTube and getting kind of back going and stuff?
To be honest with you, when I didn't want to stop, but when I started running my own business, trucking business, I didn't have time. I couldn't really go to the track like I wanted. I couldn't put it the content, whatever I want. I couldn't do it at the time.
Right.
Like now, if I knew what I knew, I never would have stopped.
Yeah.
Because I'd have been flooding Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all have been flooded,
Yeah, exactly.
So I've been trying to get my son to do it. He started, but then he gets to the track, get excited. You see your friend, he want to go there,
Yeah.
But I really want to start him doing something early, but that boy, that he into school, he in the track and field and stuff like that, he love that track and field.
Man, this was
keep him in sport. We keep, these kids, you got to keep them doing something.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care what it is.
It is true.
Your kid want to cheerlead, your kid want to play ball, you got to do it because you got to think. A lot of us grew up, our parent working, and they couldn't come see it compared to now. Yeah. If you can take your kids somewhere, what I tell you, like what, making what memories.
Memories. Yeah.
So them memories, that stuff you don't get back. So I'm gonna spend time with mine. All his events from playing basketball, stuff like that. I be there.
Right.
I be there. Yeah. I know some parents can't understand it, but I be there.
So going into that, like you having free time, and I heard you say you got your trucking business. So what made you gravitate toward becoming a business owner? Was it your time freedom and stuff, or?
It was more so freedom. So I always had to me, even though I had a job, I always had to work for myself, from vinyl siding houses, putting carpet in houses, putting windows in houses. Cause I worked at Hard Home. You worked at Hard Home, you didn't learn something there, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I grew up cutting hair.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up cutting hair. Went to school for a little while, didn't finish because I got my first check at Hard in summertime. And it was way more than I could make. At that time, I got that first check, man, you looking at back in the early, early 92, 93 or whatever. Yeah. You bringing home $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing that good money back then,
Yeah, it is.
I'm still living at home with my mama too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that me and my brother both lived there because I had 4 or 5 cars out in the front yard, all of them clean.
Yeah.
My brother was the same way. So that's why I put my slack on cutting hair. I only cut like my hair now, my wife hair, my mother-in-law hair, my son, a few other people. That's it. I can really go back to that field right now. And do it if I wanted to.
Start like be just straight barber.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, I know a lot of folks know that. So you really done had your hands in everything.
Yeah. I did my own grass cutting business. I was too nice to people, man. I had to quit.
Why you say that?
Because a lot of people, I knew they didn't have the money. But in that time, like you can pay me, I don't cut the grass twice and pay me at the end of the month. Then they don't want to pay. So I just said, forget it. I was cutting hair in school, cutting grass, and I was going with logging sometimes, putwood sometimes. I was doing all that.
So where you feel that work ethic come from like that? Like to just get it in like that?
I'm gonna tell you like that. You should know that from when you work when you work somewhere, not knocking nobody work at. It's harder to work for yourself than to work for somebody else.
Yeah,
Tell everybody that, because the reason why I say that is because you don't have sick days. You don't get sick days with the stuff we do. You're not gonna get paid.
Yep, that's true.
We gotta go. See, them people take sick days, take days off, and do stuff like that. We can't do that.
That's true.
You got to get up and go.
Yep, you work more hours.
Yeah, you got to
work more hours, man.
Work more hours, yeah.
You work around the clock.
I remember you put that post up, and a lot of folk were hating. You said, what is kind of like, I'm thankful that I can, leaving your job and going on your own. That probably been, 9-10 years ago?
Easily, man. It is. It's a blessing, but like you said, a lot of people don't see the backside of things. It's risky. It's time consuming. Yeah. But man,
it worked though.
Man, it worked.
It worked.
It worth it. It worth it in the end.
I love it. Yeah.
Like you said, man, just seeing both of us seeing the growth and starting from here. Like I remember going to the first Shut Up and Race. I remember going to the first Shut Up and Race. And I was doing the DVDs at the time. I wasn't doing I was doing the Stunner Die. Yeah, doing the Stunner Die DVDs. And Shut Up and Race was a section of the DVD. Yeah. Like there was a segment. Yeah. And not knowing the whole time, like, oh, this your first race. This your first race.
You didn't know.
Started. I didn't know.
See, all that won't tell you. All that stuff played a part in when Teresa and myself started this stuff. All that stuff, the stuff you were doing. Like I said, Jay, all the videographer. People sharing the flight. By the time when sharing the flight, we were putting flyers out. I think our first flight might have been that long.
Yep.
The big long flight. Our first flight was that long.
I remember.
We had all the locals on the flight.
So did.
And I think somebody still got that freight flyer. They had sent it to me. I can't think who it was, man, but I just thought about something. You asked me who my biggest rapper was.
Yeah.
It was Marcus Travis.
Oh.
Man, I swear, man. Marcus, I had was it my white GT? No, it was I think it was my white GT. Marcus had some car. He went to the truck.
Yeah.
I went to another car. He went to that Cutlass.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go this fast, until I drove his car. Yeah, I got to have something.
That mess you up.
So we back in competition again. Then, me and Mark going there every year. He move up, I move up. That way, I beat him, he move up. But I think Mark might have beat me one time. The first time we ran after that, I beat Mark's. Sorry, Mark. So many times.
So y'all just kept pushing each other.
Yeah, kept pushing each other, yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of pushing each other, let me ask you this. So who were like some of your biggest inspirations, to just do what you do?
Growing up, don't get me wrong, I had my uncles. But to me, my role model was Tommy Armour.
Yeah.
Tommy had clean Mustang and paint. Tommy was a man to me in my eye. My uncle had clean cars too now. They had the Mustang too. Tommy did a lot for the kids,
Yeah.
I don't even know how old Tommy is, man. But Tommy, when I tell you Tommy, you talk to him, bro. Tommy, everybody know it sounds a little T, but Tommy is smooth to death, man. No lie.
Yeah.
Tommy was probably one of my favorite role models. Right, come down to racing, I was racing anyway. People on my road, Carroll Station Road, everybody had a race car. Yeah. They would race anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there in front of my mama's house. They go in the curve wide open. Can't do it. The new stuff, you can't do that. You flip. The new stuff got way more power than it.
Oh, yeah.
Back then,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your inspirations and stuff, too. We've been going along your timeline and all of that. So what's next, man, for Mr. Shut Up and Race? What's next?
We're gonna continue to do our events. Probably some 36, because they want to do some 36. I wish the home track opened back up, because that.
So what's the story on that? Like any daylight or anything involvement or something bubbling on that?
I really don't know, because I used to go to the meetings. I don't go to the meetings no more.
Oh, okay.
I think they still having a meeting, so I don't go no more. So I don't know. I hope it open back up, because I bought in 22. It's been closed in September 22. I bought brand new slicks and rims in my store building. Still got them now. I haven't did nothing with them. They still mounted. I now mount them on the car. I can see a picture of them.
Yeah.
But I wish, you know, it would open back up. If it open back up, I can tell y'all trail ride people now. Edison was the trail ride.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if Edison open back up, I feel for y'all trail riders, you know, because Edison was the trail ride. Before trail ride got out, you know, because trail ride was big, but not over here.
Right, right.
I know a lot of people go to North Carolina, South Carolina, stuff like that. They were big over there. And they pretty much just got big over here last year.
Yeah, of course, of course. Gotcha. So what's next on the agenda? Like, you got any events coming up or?
We got one in September. Swan and myself got one in September. Like I said, we would start those third stuff in Twig. Shout out to Twig.
Yeah, Middle Georgia.
For giving us a chance. Yeah, shout out to Twig for giving us a chance to do it, you know, and man, they're some nice people, man. I ain't even lie.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
I can't beat them, you know, and I got my Green County Day coming. It's gonna be in at time of Air Canyonland.
Yep.
It's gonna be out there, so I know it's gonna be packed, you know, out there in the area right there. I know it's gonna be packed. So I hadn't dropped the date on that yet. That you know, that's about it right there.
Okay. Well, shoot, Drill, something I like to do before we get ready to close this thing out. You know, I always like to give honor to our Father, and, you know, to give him thanks for everything he done for us and all of that too. What I do here before we close this thing out is I always just say like a short prayer and something before we close it out, and then, you know, we'll close the thing on out. We definitely enjoyed you on the show, but so if you would, we're gonna bow. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today with our heads bowed and our hearts humbled just to say thank you, Lord. Lord, we thank you for your saving grace, and we thank you for awakening us each and every day, because we know it's by your power that we awaken. And Father, I ask that you just keep your hands covering all of us here today, and just continue to bless each one of us in all that we do. And all these blessings I ask in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So, y'all, it's been another amazing show. We have definitely enjoyed Mr. Fivespeed, Mr. Shut Up and Ray, Mandrell, whatever you choose to call him, man. An amazing interview. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on his social media, which I'll attach and put on the screen right now, so y'all can go give him a follow on his Instagram, his Facebook, his YouTube, on all platforms and all that. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with him. So we're going to be signing out. I enjoyed you.
Yeah.
We out.